legitimate lawsuit? We'll find out in federal court, but right now we don't have any evidence of that.
NBC's Jacob Soboroff on the ground for us in Nevada. Thank you so much, my friend. Joining us now, Joyce Vance, former U.S. attorney and an MSNBC contributor, and Washington Post White House reporter and MSNBC political analyst Ashley Parker is back. So, Ashley, let me just start with something Ben Ginsburg has been saying for really weeks now. Ben Ginsburg, I think the Republican version of the most respected and longest serving election lawyer that our party has really ever seen, worked for every former Republican presidential campaign and president, has come out and said that this hunt for voter fraud has been a Republican mission for decades, and it has never turned up anything. And in fact, the only person committing felony voter fraud is Donald Trump by asking his voters, I think it was in the state of North Carolina, to vote twice. So now the big lie that Ben Ginsburg is certainly qualified to diagnose and report to us about is being carried on and carried out by Matt Schlapp and Rick Grinnell in Nevada. What is the end game for them?
Well, there was something incredibly amateurish of what they were doing today. And I think that clip of Jacob kind of pressing them on the fact that they made a pretty serious allegation with no evidence demonstrates that. But one of the things that the Trump team is doing is they are trying to keep the president calm, and they are trying to dissuade him from doing what he woke up today angry and defiant wanting to do, which was go out, speak publicly, and again, prematurely and quite possibly falsely declare victory. And one of the ways they have managed to calm him down so far is by stressing to him all of the people who are out there fighting for him and briefing him on these legal strategies, although, as you point out, they have not been wildly successful yet. So I want to be clear, the legal strategies are, on the one hand, they are real. The campaign very much does want to challenge a lot of these states and a lot of these ballots in ways that they think could help them. But part of it is also, again, for that most important audience of one, trying to convince the president to stay calm and convince him to believe that there is hope to fight another day.
And this fight is drawing such meager talent and numbers, Joyce Vance, that the president's kids were, having tantrums on Twitter, basically crying and having hissy fits, begging people to come and help their dad steal an election. So is the state of Donald Trump's efforts. And as Ashley points out, I am certain accurately, it isn't really a political strategy. It definitely isn't a winning legal strategy without evidence. It is sort of the campaign version of giving him some Xanax, it would appear.
It has the feel of a final desperate appeal to the base. Like you say, there's not much legal strategy at play here. Usually, if you've got good claims, you go straight into court. You don't let your former DNI roam around announcing claims that can't be backed up. And that's the meat of this. This is a president who's struggled to find voter fraud to support any problems that he has at the polls, really since before he was elected the first time. You'll remember that in 2017, he notoriously stood up an election integrity commission that was supposed to search for allegations and for complaints of voter fraud. And it had to fold several months into its operations, not only because it couldn't find any fraud, but because there was concerns that it was actually in the process of collecting voter information that could be used to suppress the vote in future elections. So here again, we have this boogeyman of voter fraud that the president is going to try and trot out to explain his loss to his base. But it's unavailing because there is no evidence of voter fraud.
Joyce Vance, Ashley Parker, thank you so much for your wisdom, Ashley, for your reporting, for your calm. It is what the whole country needs. It's great to see you both. I will be back at the top of the hour. Let me tell you what's happening next. Brian Williams, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Steve Kornacki, and I kicking off night 3 of MSNBC's special election coverage. Don't go anywhere. We're not.